Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Jacoby, and today I'll be doing Impact Wrestling Slammiversary 2022 review. With that being said, before I get into the review, I want to say a massive thank you to Impact Wrestling for being here for 20 plus years, and all the wrestlers, production crew, management, investors, all the people that made Impact Wrestling great for what it is today. And that's pure pro wrestling, just like every organization is giving us besides WWE. With that being said, I want to say Impact Wrestling, thanks for this 20 years of great wrestling, and here's to more 20 plus more years. With that being said, let's get to the review. Our first match is going to be this X Division title match on Ultimate X match. And by the way, one hell of a match. And I give it a 5 out of 5 stars because when I saw it, it's just breathtaking. I saw Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Alex Zane, Andrew Everett, Kenny King, Speedball Mike Bailey. And the reason why is because one thing I love watching, it's one of my favorite styles in wrestling. I love all styles of wrestling, and I'm really am happy about seeing lucha, high flying aerial lucha, and strong style wrestling and technical wrestling. And of course, deathmatch wrestling. But sorry, I got on a different tangent. But just saying that this match is a 5 out of 5 because that style of lucha, and also seeing one of my picks. My picks were Speedball Mike Bailey, Trey Miguel to regain it, or Ace Austin retaining. And, it really surprised me. One of my picks was Speedball Mike Bailey winning it, so happy about that. Our next match is basically Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Tennille Dashwood, Madison Rain put their titles on the line against a very interesting pair of Taya Valkyrie, Johnny Mundo's wife, and Rosemary. Again, I really love how Impact and other indie promotions, really care about women's wrestling and tag team wrestling because, that's what makes wrestling great. Wrestlers being themselves and caring about different divisions of wrestling right there. With that being said, again, 5 out of 5 stars. Those two just killed it, and they just gave us what we wanted to see, just pure pro wrestling and storytelling. There were some gimmicks they had in there. There was some, flashy showmanship in there, of course, part of the gimmick. And then what I want to see the most is pro wrestling and, hard, strong style wrestling and great lucha in together with that. So 5 out of 5. Our next match was Moose versus Sammy Callahan Monsters Ball match, and another style I love watching, like I said earlier, was deathmatch style wrestling, and that's what the Monsters Ball is, and Impact's very good at doing that, alongside every other indie promotion. WWE, well, ever since they got the investors, and it's PG now, they don't do it as much. But anyway, we're on to Slammiversary. I really, really, really like this match as well. One of my favorite matches at the card, besides the next one. It was so back to Sammy Callahan, the Moose. I give it a 5 out of 5 because not only did I want Sammy Callahan to win, but we got to see him back better than ever. And Moose after his title loss against Josh Alexander at Rebellion, which is a 5-star match, and they completely killed it. So again, great match. Callahan won, and there's blood. There's tables and furniture flying through the air. Fans were enjoying myself. I was on the edge of my seat just having some fun. And hopefully we get to see more Sammy Callahan Moose. And who knows what's next for Moose. Because I would love to see him in Impact. Hopefully he stays there. And hopefully, we get to see him, still with Impact and still, go for the title shot again. Or he could go to AEW and wrestle, any other wrestlers besides Kenny Omega, and hopefully I get to see Moose versus I don't know what talent, because there's still talent in AEW so huge in there. There's one thing I'd like to see in Moose versus AEW talent, and that would be Moose versus Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. I would love to see that. So make it happen, Impact. And hopefully it happens at Bound for Glory. Who knows? But back to my whole thing. Moose versus Sammy Callahan, 5 out of 5. Our next match is one of my most favorite matches on this card for this great pay-per-view would be the Briscoes versus the Good Brothers. And I love this match because, again, we talk about, great pro wrestling right here. Between the Good Brothers, Bullet Club, OG Bullet Club, Anderson and Gallows versus another OG tag team, Mark and Jay Briscoe, and they've been in the business since 2002, so they're 20-year vets. Anderson and Gallows as well. I remember seeing them as the club, seeing them as Festus, and then Anderson being a G1 2013 Climax winner tournament, and now as together with Bullet Club ever since Prince Devitt was there. So this match was near and dear in my heart because they care about one thing: tag team wrestling, and of course pro wrestling. So they gave us strong style pro wrestling. They gave us great storytelling, and at the end of it, it was cool because we got to see an OG Impact Wrestling tag team, AMW, America Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm. At the end, the Good Brothers won. That's why I give it a 5 out of 5. And what made it even sweeter, 5.5 out of 5, is because I got to see them, show Code of Honor that Ring of Honor taught us. And also, we got to see, they share a beer at all three teams in there, which made it even more sweet. Hashtag too sweet for that match. Is Honor No More versus Impact Originals. Honor No More consists of Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Vincent Marseille, PCO, representing Honor No More versus Impact Originals, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, AEW and Impact Original, Frankie Kazarian, and also former NWA 10 Pounds of Gold and National Treasure Nick Aldis, alongside their mystery partner, which they added from an OG Impact days, and he came back today, thanks to our former investor, former owner, Dixie Carter, which I have mixed feelings about. But, I had to be honest with you. I had to give her the respect and, funding for our company, Impact Wrestling. And, long story short, I don't like her booking ideas, her creative ideas, but I had to respect her for at least investing in Impact Wrestling. And look at us now. Impact Wrestling is, here for 20 plus more years. And she's right. They didn't believe us with the last 6 months, but we stayed here for 20 years and we're going to stay 20 more plus years. So she gave us our mystery opponent, which is Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards' former tag team partner, one half of the Wolves, which really is pretty cool. So in that match, again, they had a lot more tag team matches, something that WWE does not respect and love, which is disappointing. But Impact and the Indies, AEW, list goes on and on. Non-WWE wrestling promotions care about. So sorry for the side tangent. But this match was great because, again, great to see great wrestlers become, again, great wrestlers. And they gave us great tag team matches. And I was really happy to see Impact Originals, win in this one because they won it last pay-per-view. And also on the fun side, we saw Scott D'Amore represent Team Canada on commentary, which is really nice. So on a scale 1 through 5 in this match, I had to say 5 out of 5 with this one because not only did we have, retro Scott D'Amore, we got to see Eddie Edwards, and his former partner Davey Richards tear the house down with Impact and Ring of Honor go at each other, which is really fun. Promotion versus promotion is always fun to watch. And actually, I take that back. Not 5 out of 5, 4.5, because I don't want to see Dixie Carter. No disrespect to her. Just, again, her creative mindset, her booking the mindset is just crazy. And I didn't like the way she disrespected, one of our greatest wrestling managers of all time, Jim Cornette. So, that's the reason why this match gets a 4.5 out of 5 is because I don't want to see Dixie Carter. I had to say, yes, she invested into our company, but yet she kind of killed our company with her, like I said, booking ideas and her creative ideas that kind of killed us in 2010 till 2012. Those 3-year period that really killed us. Okay, moving forward, we have the. Oh, before I go on with that, I also like to say we got to see interesting appearances from Earl Hebner, who made the final pin for us. So Impact Wrestling won against Ring of Honor, which is really cool. And it was awesome because not only did we see that, we saw Miss Tracy Brooks, an Impact knockout legend, and Maria Kanellis, throw hands against each other. So it was great seeing familiar faces from, the Impact Wrestling Asylum days or TNA Impact Asylum days. So it was great seeing that. And overall, 4.5 because I didn't want to see Dixie Carter. That is all. And I already talked about my piece about that. Next match this is really interesting right here because, Gail Kim announced this on Impact tapings a couple weeks back, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks before Slammiversary. She made 2 announcements. It'll be a Queen used to be King of the Mountain match, but now it's a Queen of the Mountain match with special guest enforcer Mickey James, former NWA Women's Champion and former Impact Knockouts Champion. And I'm like, wow, they're breaking down the barriers that WWE could never do, or just completely don't care about, which is, something Impact Wrestling's been doing. They're completely breaking the walls down, no pun intended. And Impact Wrestling's killing it, and also other promotions, like I keep saying. So please support Impact Wrestling and keep on supporting the indies, because that's what real wrestling's all about right there. And I would say this match gets a solid 5 out of 5 with me, because these women are great wrestlers. Women's wrestling is awesome wrestling, and I was really happy to see Jordynne Grace win it. We had Deonna Purrazzo versus Tasha Steele with Savannah Evans versus Chelsea Green versus Jordynne Grace versus Mia Yim, with, of course, the special guest enforcer Mickey James. It was just impressive, seeing the spot where Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green fell from the ladder through 2 tables. It was like, holy shit! No pun. Excuse my language, but I marked out saying, holy shit! And we saw Jordynne Grace climbed the ladder, and now she's an Impact World Champion, Impact Knockouts World Champion again. So I was like, congrats, Jordynne Grace. So I enjoyed that match, and it was great to see different, opportunities for all wrestlers in different matches. And also, Mia Yim, it's good to see you back in Impact, and you get to be you. So Impact Wrestling, thank you so much for breaking the war, not the war, but breaking the doors down and showing us that wrestling is great again. Also, TK, thank you for helping Impact Wrestling. After that match, we have the main event. Josh Alexander, Eric Young. And this match, my honest opinion, was my 3rd favorite match. Because Josh Alexander, the guy really lives up to that word, walking weapon. My gosh, man, this guy is dope. He completely brings strong style wrestling, technical wrestling, submission wrestling, and he can do it all. Absolutely. And he's killing it in the indies with New Japan, AAW, VIP wrestling. He wrestled here in Texas. He wrestled in WrestleCon. He wrestled in, like I said, New Japan, VIP wrestling, DFW wrestling. He wrestled in, PWG. He wrestled other promotions. He wrestled Destiny Pro Wrestling, Battle Arts Wrestling. And of course, our Impact World Champion. He deserves it. This guy is truly the walking weapon, and he's the face of Impact Wrestling. When he completely beat Suzuki, Jonah, Charlie Haas, this goes on and on. This guy is completely, the face of Impact Wrestling. So him versus Eric Young. Eric Young, another great 2-time Impact Wrestling original, also world champion. And, former Insanity member of NXT's Black and Gold brand under Triple H's brand. Triple H's WWE brand. And, Eric Young, very good wrestler. His violent by design, gimmick, and character, and his factions is really awesome. With Joe Doring and Cody Deaner. On a scale of 1 through 5 stars, I give it a 5 stars because, again, storytelling, great wrestling, using all elements of the environment to give us a great wrestling match. So, congratulations to Josh Alexander and Eric Young. Great performance, but, came up short, but outstanding match. And also, rest in peace, Dave Hebner. And thank you, Earl Hebner, for giving us one more referee spot, giving us the 3 count. And Brian Hebner, thank you so much for your time in WWE as SmackDown referee. And I've loved you always in Impact Wrestling for giving us great wrestling referee moments. And also, thank you for being a great referee in Impact. Also, we saw great video packages from Mike Tenay and Don West. Don West, we're praying for you, man. You can kick cancer's ass. We believe in you. Mike Tenay, thank you so much. You are really the vocal point and the mouthpiece of Impact Wrestling. Thank you for great moments and memories you've done for us in there. And he is always one of my favorite broadcast members in Impact Wrestling. And I had to also say thank you, Sting, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, also Matt Morgan, who made an appearance on the Impact Wrestling tapings, and AMW, Chris Harris, James Storm, and a lot more great wrestling Impact Wrestling originals that came in there. Thank you so much for making Impact Wrestling great. And with that being said, I enjoyed the pay-per-view on a scale of 1 through 10 now. I give this a 9.5 out of 10, because the only thing I didn't like was Dixie Carter again, and that was probably it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, because next week I'll be doing a review for Forbidden Door, New Japan and AEW pay-per-view. That match, that not just that matches, but the whole card is gonna be stacked, and you'll hear my review on that. With that being said, um, enjoy pro wrestling, because pro wrestling is great. Well, in WWE, well, I'll be honest with you, it needs improvement. That's all I gotta say in WWE immediately. So, with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Impact Wrestling Slammiversary review from me, James Jacoby. And with that being said, I like to say, yeah, you guys have a nice week. I know it's been late for this review, but hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said multiple times. And one last thing is, Court Bauer from MLW and other indie promotions, please sign me. With that being said, thank you and have a great, great wrestling week.